Welcome to Unleash the Awesome with Dave Gambrill. All of us have unique skills, talents, and abilities that aren't being used to their full potential. Our mission is to share the people, tools, apps, and other resources that will help you unleash your awesome on the world.
Yo, what's up? It's Dave. Welcome to another episode of Unleash the Awesome. Today, I want to talk about how you can leverage the power of Kanban boards and a tool I like called Trello to get some stuff done, to be more efficient, to be more effective. So what the heck is a Kanban board? And by the way, that's spelled Kanban. I will make sure to put a link to a wonderful blog post from my friends at Trello in the show notes for you. But basically, what a Kanban board is it's a visual method for managing and processing work. It originated in a Toyota factory in Japan and was made popular by Agile software development teams thanks to its flexibility and ability to allow teams to work faster and more efficiently. So basically what it is, if I boil it down to the most fundamental aspects of it, it's a visual way for you to process your projects. And what I do in this app called Trello is I make three columns, three vertical columns. One is to do, the next is doing, and the last one is done. So basically it's to do, doing, done. It's three columns. And then what you can do is create these things called cards on each one of those columns. So obviously, if you have things that you need to do, you can put them on the to-do column. And then as you move them from doing to done, you can actually move them on your Trello board, on your Kanban board. You can move it so you have a visual indicator of what still needs to be done, what's currently in progress, and then what is actually done. And that is the most basic way that I use it. Now, there are some other pieces from the original Kanban methodology and from the Agile teams that create software. They might also have things like in progress instead of doing. They might have a backlog that is prior to the to-do category. And so maybe that backlog column has things that need to do that you're thinking about doing, maybe they're ideas that need to be fleshed out a little bit. And they put them in that column so they're not quite in the to-do column yet, because to-do means there's probably action that needs to be taken. There's also, depending on how many people you're collaborating with, you can have a review column or a testing column if it's software and you need to have a look at it, things like that. You can basically do whatever you want. So even when I do this podcast, I have a board set up in Trello. It's a Kanban board, and I'll tell you the columns that I have for it. I'm going to pull it up right here. Just give me a second. Basically, what I have is my first column, starting from left to right, reading from left to right, is episode ideas. So anytime I have an idea for an episode, I just plop it on this list. I make a card and put it on there. The neat thing is with Trello, you also have a wonderful smartphone app. And so sometimes I have these ideas as waiting in line at the grocery store, or waiting to pick up my kids or something. And so, or sometimes just when I get out of the shower, I'll pick up my phone and really fast just pop in an episode idea. So this is very much like the backlog concept. These are not things that I'm going to do right this minute, but these are things to think about, some ideas. Maybe I need to do some research on some of these episode ideas. But the first column for me is episode ideas. And then the next is to do. And then I have doing. And then I have done. So the first three from left to right, first three columns, episode ideas, to do, doing, and done. And then on this particular board, I have another column after that called podcasts, which is just the episodes that I've already completed. And the cool thing about Trello is you can also attach files in there. So I attach the raw audio from this podcast. So just this actual piece that I'm doing right now. I have my intros and the outros in there. And I also have the last column on here is called notes and resources. And so I put the cover art and the music that you hear in the intro and the outro, and the receipt or proof of purchase that I license that music. So if anybody ever gives me a hard time about it, I can reference it right there. But this is all within Trello. Okay, so again, I use the basic Kanban methodology of to do, doing, done, but I added my own little columns to it. I'll give you another example. So we're planning a vacation for this summer, and we have some things that have to happen. And so for that vacation, I posted in Trello, I made a new board that's called Vacation with the dates on there. And I have to do, doing, done, and then notes and resources column. So 4 columns. And in the to-do category, I have things like we're going to be renting a house that does not have any linens or bath towels, stuff like that. But where we're going, you can actually rent those things. So one of the things I have in the to-do category is rent linens. I have take photos on arrival. When you go to a rental property, it's smart to take pictures of things, especially if there's any damage or stuff when you get there, like scuff marks on the wall or something. You don't want to be held responsible or have your security deposit withheld because they think you did that. So I put this on my Trello board, and I actually put a deadline on there. So you can put due dates in there, and so it will ping you on your phone through a notification to let you know that this thing needs to be done. I put on there that I need to do my personal packing list. I put on there that we need to think about the family packing list. So as a dad with kids, I need to think about packing my stuff, but then I'm sure there's plenty of general things that we need to be packing, like beach chairs or things like that, the boogie boards, whatever. And so all those things are in the to-do column. And then there's the doing column, and then already in the done column, which was in the to-do column, was the rental agreement, sending the payment, stuff like that. So again, you could do this for just about anything you need to get done. And the nice thing is too, which I haven't mentioned yet, is you can add people to these boards. So if you need to collaborate with them, you can add people to the board so they can see it and they can move stuff back and forth, and you can communicate directly on the cards in the columns there on your board. So one of the ways that I use this was when my kids were applying to colleges. Right? We've always tried to make our kids be responsible for their own things and to take the initiative. So I created a Trello board for them and said, okay, here's all the stuff that needs to get done. We had a discussion one night at dinner and said, here's everything that needs to get done, but I'm not doing it. This is your college. You go figure it out. And so we put stuff in the to-do column. And then obviously we had the other columns there as well. And me and my wife and whichever child was doing the application to school had access to this board, and we could just see it, and then we could update each other through there. And sometimes at dinner, I know like at dinner time, a lot of people are like, no, don't take your cell phones out. But sometimes at dinner, that was the best time for us to have like a family meeting. I'd say, okay, take out your phone, let's go, let's look at Trello, let's see what's going on, what needs to move, what needs to happen, what's going on, give me an update. And for me, if things didn't move when they were supposed to, I could just ping them right inside the app and say, hey, what's the progress of this? So again, the app is called Trello, Trello. It's free. It's at Trello.com. It's free for individual users. They do, I guess I should call it freemium. They do have some upgrades and some other things you could do. And one of the things I like about it is I've added some power-ups. So it integrates really nicely with all kinds of other things. So it integrates with Dropbox and a lot of the Google products and just about anything else you can think of that you would want to have there that you already use online, other apps and things like that. And if it doesn't, then it does also work with things like automate.io. So if there's not a direct integration, then you can set it up through Automate as well. But there's so many cool things you could do with it. Again, if you just go to Trello.com, I don't even have a referral link because I don't have an affiliate program, but I talk about them all the time. You could use this with your coaching clients. You can use this with your to-dos around the house. There's so many things you could do with it. But again, this Kanban methodology is something you should consider putting into play for you and your ideas, your business, the projects that you need to do, the things around the house. It's just a very simple way, a nice visual way to keep things organized so you can get the stuff done that you need to get done so you can be more effective. So I hope this served you. Until next time, go unleash your awesome on the world. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Unleash the Awesome. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And please share us on your favorite social media platforms using #UnleashAwesome.